Yo, what is up, YouTube? I'm Blitz5, and this is going to be my review of the Call of Duty World War II beta. So I could talk about Call of Duty for hours and hours. I've played Call of Duty since the very first one. I've put months and months of time into all of the Call of Duty games combined. Probably like an insane amount of time that I don't even want to fathom right now or calculate because it'd probably be a little bit embarrassing. But I don't really regret it. It's been my favorite video game series of all time. Really enjoyed the game. Obviously, with the past couple of Call of Duty since like Ghost, I've been a little bit down on that. I'm a little bit more into the old school Call of Duties like this. So to start it off with that base, that's kind of my bias towards this game so far. And for the too long didn't read, basically Call of Duty is back. That's the TLDR, my opinion of this game. It's back. I wasn't expecting to play the beta as much, but all my friends got on. We ended up playing for hours on a huge win streak. I don't think we lost a game last night playing. And to summarize my review of the game, you know, that hasn't happened in a long time in Call of Duty, and this game, just the beta did that alone. And a lot of my friends, we already texted our group chat that like we're all planning on getting this game, and it seems like it's going to be pretty exciting, which is great because Battlefield 1 kind of became our go-to game, and we were kind of relying on Battlefield after the last couple years of Call of Duty. Been disappointing. I purchased and played every Call of Duty that comes out, but that, like I said, I'm kind of harping on it. I've been a little bit disappointed like everybody else. So to give a little context to this, today is September 3rd. It's Sunday. It's the third and I guess final full day of the beta. They said they're doing this from Friday, Saturday, Sunday and into Monday morning, but I can't help but think that they'll extend this beta all day Monday because it's Labor Day. A lot of people have off work. I don't want to say everybody, but who knows, maybe they'll be strict to that day limit. So I kind of want to get back on and play, but at the same time, all this progress is going to get erased anyway, so who knows what the point of it is. But since, like I said, all my friends are on, it's very appeasing to get on and play because we've been having so much fun. We're on this huge win streak right now, even though I don't think wins and all that stuff are being tracked at the moment. So anyways, my first impression of the game when I first got on after playing Battlefield 1 for so long and not playing Call of Duty from, you know, year to year. I used to literally play Call of Duty from the moment it came out to the next year, and the only time the game disc would leave the disc tray was when the next Call of Duty came out. I'd call it the changing of the guards. So a lot has changed in the past couple of years. I've been playing a lot more games now that I've been down on it. So my first impression was, man, it's super different. The game was so different. I got into a game of war, which is like the old school Call of Duty game type where you can't take the points are in a straight line kind of per se, and you can't take the next point without getting the middle point. Damn, I explained that really poorly. Basically, like everyone's fighting over one point, and then whatever team takes it, you either move forward or backwards like tug of war. I think that's a better explanation for it. If you played Call of Duty, you know what I'm talking about. So I hopped into a war match, and there's a tank. I'm like, why are there tanks in Call of Duty? What's going on here? I haven't seen a tank in Call of Duty in like, I don't know. I don't even remember the last time. World at War or whatever. There's like a map with a tank. So that was super confusing, and I'm level 1, so I only have one gun, and it's the sniper rifle. And I'm just getting destroyed by this tank, and I'm like, man, this is not fun. This is not going to happen. But then after like 2 or 3 games, I'd say it takes you, if you're like me and you haven't played in a while or you're playing other games, it takes about 20 or 30 minutes, and then it's just back to Call of Duty. It all comes back. It's like riding a bike. The game is the same, even though a lot of it looks different. Once you get used to it, you're like, at first I was like, man, everybody's dying so fast. The game seems so fast-paced, all this stuff, but then once you start playing, you're like, oh, it's the same Call of Duty. It's always been. It's just like all the other Call of Duties. Now that I've been playing for a while, I think the death time is pretty nice. A couple of my friends thought it was too fast. A couple of them thought it was too slow. I think it's like right in the middle, and I think that's, you know, if some of my friends are saying on both sides, then, you know, probably is somewhere towards the middle, which is nice. So that part is awesome. The guns feel really good. One negative complaint that I've seen a lot is the hitboxes are way off. I've noticed for the most part that like with the submachine guns, it's been okay, but something with like the headshots and the sniper rifle shots, you could be way off with a sniper and it gives you a hitbox. And also something's off with the headshot because sometimes you'll be getting a headshot and it doesn't count, and other times I'll be way off and I'll get a headshot. So something's definitely a little off with that. And there's just so much to talk about. I see I'm like, you know, halfway through this. There's a halftime now. Something interesting that they do is they don't do a end of the match kill cam. They do a best play of the game, and we were kind of discussing about how they decide that. I'm assuming they decided by like some kind of multi-kill or some kind of kills per second. Like right there, the guy got 2 kills or 3 kills in a pretty fast time. But in some cases, there was a time where I got like 5 kills with 1 missile, and then it showed somebody getting a double kill. So I don't know exactly how that, what they're putting in, what calculates that, but it's some computer's program system. But I actually like this a lot better. Sometimes the last kill cam would just be something really random, and this shows like a nice play, and also it kind of promotes you wanting to get a cool like triple kill or quad kill, because then you'll be on the halftime or the end of the game display. So like I said, there's just so much to talk about. It's hard to really focus on stuff because there's so many things. But I talked about the hitboxes were a little bit of a complaint. The style of the game seems a lot different, but once you start playing, it's kind of the same. The creator class system is a whole beast of its own. It's a little bit different than all the Call of Duties in the past. Same kind of perks, but just the way the system is being set up is a lot different. I made a video about that on my channel, so I'll link in the description box below. You guys can check it out. That's like a whole nother like 10-minute video just breaking down the creator class. Like I said, this is just, I've been saying, disclosing that this is just the beta, so things are definitely subject to change. But it seems like this game could pretty much launch as is for right now. It seems pretty balanced for the most part. I played all of the weapons, so submachine guns, shotguns, all that stuff. There's a couple things that are a little weird about the game. So, like for example, when you hit the shotgun, you start with like dragon breath bullets, which are like they are on fire, so it looks like someone's shooting a flamethrower at you. And every every submachine gun class has a silencer automatically available that you can equip. So some of the guns seem a lot different. Like just the shotgun gameplay seems a lot different because you start with these fire bullets, but you can unequip them, but it just changes the game up a lot. So it's kind of like this weird thing. Like I don't know why they put that in and it didn't make it just its own perk. The heavy machine guns are really strong. I don't see a lot of people using them, but I'm always a big heavy machine gun fan, so I think that was pretty balanced. The submachine guns are pretty strong. It looks like that's honestly probably the most common guns you see in the game, so they're probably the strongest. The Type 100 seems a little overpowered right now. Everybody's using that. The submachine guns in general seem kind of overpowered. The grease gun, which is the starting submachine gun, I think I'm not using it right now. I didn't really like that, but the PPSH, however that gun is pronounced or spelt, is really good in the Type 100. Then the infantry class, I don't see a lot of people using the infantry class because the first weapon is kind of this slow machine gun that almost seems like a heavy machine gun, and then there's like the M1 Grand rifle, which isn't as good as years past. Usually like the M1 Grand in every game is like one of the best guns. It's not as great, so repeating myself, but I didn't see a lot of people using that. The first sniper that you get is one of the snipers that it takes more than 1 bullet to kill and shoots really fast. So it took me a little while to get used to it. But then the second sniper is like a one-shot kill sniper, like we're used to in COD. I saw a lot of people struggling with it, but then you saw a lot of kids who were doing some really crazy like trick shots, quick scoping. That's definitely kind of doable, at least in the beta right now. Like I was getting off some kind of crazy quick scopes, and I never do that stuff. So I think it's either mistakenly in the game or they're appealing to the community there because they know there's such a big community of people that want a quick scope or have that kind of ability. But in all fairness, there has to be some kind of benefit to using the sniper rifle because the submachine guns and assault rifles are so good in this game that if they don't make the sniper rifle have that capability, then you're never going to win a battle. Because the maps, that's something interesting to talk about. The maps are all very, very, very small. It was pretty funny. One of my friends said it literally only takes you 1 game to learn the entire map. And when you compare that to Battlefield, you could play a map like a few times and you won't even get to certain parts of the map. I mean, there's some parts of the map you never even get to really. And it could take up to 5 to 6, 7 times to understand all of the little different spots on the map. And comparing to Call of Duty World War II, as soon as you play the game 1 time, especially if you're playing domination and you have to run around to get to different points, you've basically understood the entire map. And the map that I'm doing the review over is actually probably one of the most hectic maps out of the 5 that they released. So I think what it is there's like 3 or 4 maps that you could play in most game types, and then there's like one war map that I said had the tank on it. There might be 2 of those, but basically you kind of saw the same maps coming up pretty often because there's only 5 of them. And this one, is probably my least favorite. It's kind of growing on me now, but because it's this circular shape, it gets really hectic, and this point in the middle is kind of just like a troll because everybody's just throwing grenades in there. And something that I noticed that, I mean, everybody notices as soon as you play Domination is that you have to be extremely close to the flag now to take it, which I kind of like because it makes it a little bit more competitive. It doesn't seem like it takes a super long time to take the flag, but since you have to be so close, you really are susceptible to getting shot like through a line of sight or getting hit by a grenade because you know that the person is going to be right there on the point. So I thought that was something that was a little bit different. And yeah, like I said, the maps are really fast paced. There's not a lot of there's not a ton of different alleys. This one's a circle, so there is, but on the other maps it's pretty straightforward, like square design where you have like a middle lane, a left and right lane. It seems like they're kind of going to the old school Call of Duty level design. There's not too many like tricks and stuff like that, not too crazy. You don't get shot in the back too bad, so I think the map design is also kind of going back to the old school Call of Duty stuff. So like I said, I could talk about Call of Duty for hours. Basically, Call of Duty is back, in my opinion. This game really impressed me. At first, I was super frustrated, but I think everybody gets frustrated at Call of Duty when you're not doing well. And then as soon as you post a good score, you get some good kill streaks, you know, you start having a lot of fun and the game's amazing. But one thing, that I should say, why I'm here before I end the video and just do, you know, a full review of everything I experienced so far, is that the kill streaks are kind of boring. I know that they kind of wanted to tone. I've read different reports and listened to YouTube videos from different Call of Duty producers that they struggle with this balance of making interesting score streaks, you know, that people want to use and keeps everybody enticed, and that's what makes Call of Duty Call of Duty. You know, people always want to get a kill streak and get a helicopter or whatever, you know, in old school CODs. And in this game, you could kind of see they almost took like the Black Ops 1 approach, where there's not a ton of kill streaks, and the last kill streak is kind of like dogs from Black Ops 1, but it's like paratroopers, where this AI gets dropped into the map and they run around kind of like the dogs. And I say Black Ops 1 because there's not these like crazy kill streaks and like tactical nuke at the end, unless there is some kind of secret Manhattan project that they're going to put into the game. But there's just like the standard like precision guided missile, UAV. I didn't even see like a counter UAV. Then there's like an artillery strike, a mortar, which is basically like the same thing. There's a pilot where like it flies over the map and you can like shoot down. It's kind of like a bombing run but with machine guns. And what else is there? A couple other I'm missing. Care package as always, but there's only, you know, like probably 10 kill streaks if off top of my head. So that's a little bit different from the game, but you don't feel like the kill streaks are super cheap, so when you're playing, it's not super unfair. But when you're looking to change kill streaks from game to game, there's nothing that's like really gets me excited about the game. Like I'm like, oh man, I got to get for this kill streak. I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep it on the way it is. Keep like the precision guided missile and the artillery strike, which is the default, because it is what it is. I mean, it impacts the game a little bit. If you have UAVs up, it's easier to get these artillery strikes, but it really comes down to kind of gun-on-gun gameplay and strategy, especially if you're playing Domination, which I guess is probably a good thing overall if you think about that. So anyways, I got to end the video here. I'm going to keep talking forever. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you played the beta. Let me know what you think about my thoughts, your thoughts, all that stuff. I'm definitely interested in hearing about it, and definitely interested for this game to come out on November 3rd. I'll be getting it. If you're interested in playing Call of Duty, the beta now, or Call of Duty in the future on Xbox, you can find me at Blitz5. I'm going to be streaming at twitch.tv/Blitz5 and friends, and on every other platform, including YouTube, I am Blitz5. So thank you all for watching, and peace out.
Ready for orders, awaiting coordinates. Be captured!